My dear friends, good day. We're going to talk today about the seventh day of the week, the introduction to wine number 7. Today, as we did on number 6, on the sixth day, we're going to learn about the 10 most cultivated and popular grape varieties for white wines instead of red wines, as well as the characteristics of the wines obtained from them and recommended for pairings, as we did before. We're going to use the same methodology. We will talk about wines obtained from the most frequently cultivated grape varieties, and at the end, we will give information about lesser known wines, two lesser known wines that we consider extraordinary. When we talk about pairing, we'll do so through the grape variety. We emphasize that other variables come into play, especially terroir and aging. So, a good pairing will depend on all these factors, even if we're going to consider with much priority the cepage. We've discussed this in previous days. In general, terroir provides identity and unique character, and aging imparts smoothness, bouquet, complexity, and longevity. When we talk about the cepage, the variety, the grape, we're going to use this color, a little bit like pink, maybe light fuchsia, light blue when we talk about the wine, and light green when we talk about the pairing. And we're going to begin with the Chardonnay. That is a natural cross, at least supposed to be a natural cross, between the Pinot Noir, that is a dark grape, and the Gouais Blanc, that is a light grape. Nowadays, through the DNA studies, we know the Chardonnay is a descendant of these two varieties. Anyway, we're going to consider it like Chardonnay, originally from Burgundy, and is essentially neutral, making it an excellent medium for the winemaker or the terroir to express themselves. In cool climates, it is floral, mineral, also a little bit fruital. In warm climates, it's fruity, mostly fruity, and oak barrels gives it a bouquet of vanilla and caramel, and also a wood, some like wood. It means alcohol by volume. So the percentage of alcohol is between 13 and 14 and a half. So it's a medium body wine usually. Young wines pair with white fish, shellfish, and fresh cheeses. Aged wines pair well with white meats, oily fish, poultry, maybe pasta with creamy sauces, and medium body cheeses. And we get to the second variety, the Sauvignon Blanc. Here you can see the grape, and you can see also the wines. Small bunches, as you saw, and small grapes. They require poor soils to control their growth. If they have very rich soils, they can grow a lot, and you have to control this aspect of the growing grape. The wine is pale yellow with high acidity. It means refreshing, light body, and aromas and flavors ranging from citrus, especially, very especially green apple, to tropical, depending on the terroir. Alcohol between 12 and 13 and a half. It's light and medium wine. It pairs well with oysters, sushi, grilled whitefish, especially with seafood, goat cheeses, there is the classical regional pairing because they come from Burgundy also, feta or ricotta. And we arrive to this variety, the cepage, Spanish cepage, the Airen. It comes from Castile. It's very resistant and has large bunches of thick-skinned grapes. The wine is pale yellow, delicate aromas, notes of apple and citrus, low acidity, which results in a smooth and light and very easy to drink wine that the alcohol levels are between 11.5 and 13.5. So same thing. They are light and medium body wines. The pairings with salad, also white fish, seafood, and cheeses such as soft or goat, meal-right dishes, especially seafood dishes, of course, and pasta with simple sauces. And we get to the Rhine, to the river Rhine. This is the Riesling, is the variety, the cepage. Originally from the Rhine valleys, it has small, greenish yellow grapes with thick skin and a slow ripening process. So, once you describe the cepage, you try to guess what is going to be the wine. The wine is going to be fruity and floral, very versatile. They range from very dry to sweet, very light or medium bodied, and as you see, very dry to sweet. They are sweet. The level of alcohol is around 7 or 8, and then the dries, they arrive till 13.5 with a refreshing finish. Also, they pair well with seafood and fish, fatty and smoked meats, roast pork, duck, sausages, and Rhine casseroles. This is what we call pairing of the region. The pairing of the region is the Rhine casseroles, and they are very strong and they pair very well with the Rhine wines, especially the Rhine wines around 13% of alcohol. Sweets go well also with desserts. I'm going to get to the Pinot Gris, Pinot grape, the grape Pinot. This grape Pinot is the same grape. If it is red Pinot or white Pinot or gray Pinot, it's only mutations from the same grape. You see here the Pinot Gris. You have a very pale, maybe yellow, or maybe a little bit pink also because of the character of the peel. So we have here very thick skin. So when you have very thick skin, that is a little bit pink, then you have that colors in the wine. They are very pale, the pulp, very small bunches and grapes, and you saw the wine from pale yellow to very light pink, fruity and floral. Medium acidity, very silky, and an average in alcohol by volume of 12.5 till 13.5. Of course, versatile in what we consider a white wine, seafood, turkey, white fish, and soft cheeses like goat, ricotta, or gruyere. And we arrive to the Viognier. This is a very really special cepage. Here you see the wine, very pale, and this wine is something special in the world of white wines. Originally from the island of Vis in Croatia, it was brought to France during the times of Probus, Roman Emperor. It is the same Bugava grape variety. It is currently an emblematic variety of the Rhone Valley. A lot of places in the world are betting on this variety. Full-bodied, this is very special, full-bodied, average between 13 and 15 for white wines. Very interesting. Intense floral and fruity aromas, dense and silky, with low acidity and a long finish. Pairs well with white meats, poultry, pork loin, shellfish and oily fish, goat cheese, and certain spicy foods. Remember always that very spicy foods, they don't go well with wine. And we arrive to Semillon. Semillon, you see here, the grapes, and here you see the color of the usual Semillon wine, native to Bordeaux in France, with medium-sized bunches and thin-skinned grapes. That's why they develop easily the botrytis. This botrytis or botrytis is what we've been already talking about these wines on the previous chapters. They can easily adapt to different climates. Level of alcohol is between 12.5 and 14. And they have these different varieties of the wine, dry or sweet. The dry, all the sugar becomes alcohol, or almost most of the sugar. They have aromas of citrus, dried herbs, and honey, excellent aging potential. And sweet, especially known in the Sauternes region, typically a botrytized wine, deep golden, unctuous, with aromas of fruit, jam, and honey. So dry go very well with grilled fish, fresh seafood, poultry, and goat cheeses, and the Sauternes, they go well with desserts. Creamy desserts, fruit tarts, blue cheeses also, such as Roquefort, and the special regional pear, the foie gras. And we'll go again to Spain, this variety called Verdejo. You see, the Verdejo is called like greenish, would be the translation of Verdejo. You see, the color of the grapes, the color of the wine, originally from Castile and Leon, small bunches of grapes, greenish yellow in color, highly adaptable to different soils, and very delicate ripening that usually harvesting is made at night because to preserve the characteristics of the grape. Appearance, you saw already, pale yellow, aromatic, with prominent notes of fruits and bay leaf. Smooth, with balanced acidity and a long finish, leaving a slightly bitter aftertaste, very slight bitter aftertaste. That is a very interesting characteristic. Average light to medium body, 12.5 to 13.5. And this Verdejo goes very well with seafood and oily fish, such as salmon. Also rice and pasta dishes with seafood, and also the Genoese pesto, mushroom risottos, goat cheeses, fresh salads, and Iberian ham. And we're almost getting to the end. We get to the Chenin Blanc. Chenin Blanc, you see here the grapes, and you see the color of the wine. So, originally from the Loire Valley in the northwest of France, it has high acidity and a thin skin. That's why they very easily develop botrytis cinerea. The average level is between 12 and 13.5%. When you have the dry wine, when you develop a dry wine, you have notes of green apple, very especially green apple, sweet, and notes of honey, ginger, peach, and mandarin. And if you have an aged wine, there are very complex aromas, full body, and creamy notes. They pair well with seafood, fish, white meat with curries, pork with apple sauces, creamy sauces, and very especially they pair with goat cheeses and rye. That's the Loire region pairing. Remember, northwestern of France. And then we begin, this is number 10th, if I am not wrong. We get to the Albarino. Albarino is a Spain note from Galicia. Here you see the grapes, and here you see the wine Albarino. Originally from Cambados. This is a region in the southwestern of Galicia, in Spain, very near Portugal. That's why this variety is also cultivated in the north Portugal. Small bunches and grapes with zinc skin, greenish color, and early ripening. Fruity, floral with herbal notes, high acidity, medium body, and a mineral touch linked to the terroir. It benefits from aging in barrels, and this is the level of alcohol between 12 and 13. Practically, they pair with all seafood, and very especially with all seafoods. It's the regional pairing is with seafood, whitefish, and same rice dishes. Also, they pair with fresh cheeses also. And now, as I promised you, two of non very known varieties, lesser known varieties. This one of them is going to be the Malvasia istriana or Malvasia, Istrian Malvasia, or Istrian Malvasia. Here you see the characteristics of the bunch and the grapes, and you have here the wines. Large, compact bunches and grapes, yellowish green or deep gold in warm climates. Late ripening, retaining their acidity well. Very fertile and abundant. Very fertile. The average alcohol goes between, this means alcohol by volume, between 11.5 and 13.5%. They are floral with herbaceous notes. If they are young wines, they are light. Also, it depends not only what they are, but what they are going to pair with. Young wines are light, with balanced acidity and a subtly bitter saline finish. Aged in oak barrels, you're going to get a bouquet of dried fruit. Macerated means orange wines. We talked in previous days about what were orange wines. It's nothing to do with wines made of orange. Remember, we explained all that in previous days. Wine is always made of grapes. These macerated wines, they have moderate tannin presence, amber color, and deep notes of berries and wildflowers. They pair well with seafood, whitefish, pasta with vegetables or asparagus, and dishes dressed with olive oil and herbs. When they are young, if they are aged, they'll go with more complex dishes like truffles, white meats, like pork tenderloin, creamy risottos or creamy risotti. They'll go, in the case they are macerated, remember what we call orange wines. Due to its body and superior structure, it pairs well with hearty dishes, such as veal escalopes, mature cheeses, and roasted meats. And the other one exception of the rule that they are not between the 10 more known varieties in the world is the Argentinian Torrontés. This Argentinian Torrontés has nothing to do with other wines all around the world that are called also Torrontés. This is a native to Argentina, a natural cross between the Muscat of Alexandria and the Criolla Chica. 3 varieties. The most known is the Riojan or Riojana. It's also not only the most cultivated, but also the most prized. But the most renowned, it comes from Salta. This is a region of high altitude and wide temperature variations. It's near the frontier of in the northwestern of Argentina, very near the frontier of Bolivia. The wine is very floral, very interesting wine. Jasmine, roses, orange blossom, it's dry and smooth, balanced acidity. Usually not aged in barrels because if you do so, you are not going to preserve its floral and fruity aromas. It is recommended to drink it young so you can get what this cepage has to give to you. The alcohol level is between 12.5 and 14%, and it's impressively versatile when we come to the pairing. It's very versatile. It pairs well with spicy Asian or Mexican cuisine. Of course, remember that it isn't too spicy. When it is too spicy with hot, then no wine will go with that. That makes you lose all the senses when the spices or hot food is very strong. Virtually all seafood, shellfish, sushi, and grilled fish, and a huge variety of cheeses, both fresh and aged. They pair beautifully with the Argentinian Torrontés. So try not to lose if you see one of these bottles. Doesn't need to be aged, especially it has not to be aged. So we're concluding with this, our day number 7. You have the basic tools now. Dare to leave the nest and develop your own senses. Venturing into this wonderful world, never forgetting the difference between enjoyment and abuse. Each individual is a unique entity. So remember this old saying, the best wine is the one you like the most. So now we arrive to the end, and thank you for listening this very brief and simple explanation. Hope you like it. If you did, please give it a like. And even if you want something else, something more, subscribe. Thank you very much for your understanding. Hope you help me to stimulate me to go on with these very briefly and simple explanations. Thank you, thank you, thank you.